That's right. And we're back. It's a Tuesday night show. I appreciate everyone that's already tuning in. The Chicano channel. We're back on YouTube Landia. Gracias all the day oneers. Let's go ahead and go through the formalities. That way we can get into what we're going to get into tonight. But first of all, hey, feliz inicio. Ya es la segunda cuarto del todo el pinche año. It's April 1st. If you didn't get everything you wanted to get accomplished in the first 3 months, hey, we could start anew right now, cabrones. It's April 1st. So shout out to everyone, man, that's already entering the spring. Here we are in April. So again, appreciate you guys. Gracias all the day oneers. Everyone inside that members only. The members only is the backbone of the community, man. I appreciate them more than you know. Again, the Chicano channel, we're on YouTube Landia. We got a lot to talk about siempre, a lot to get into siempre, but I appreciate you guys. Death Rose in the casa, I appreciate you, my boy. Everlasting Base, orale, I appreciate you. He says, hurry up in my big out voice. That's right, cabron. You already know what it is, cabrones. It's April. Let's do it. Let's do the cotorreo, talk our ish the way we do it. Chicano channel on YouTube Landia, man. Let's go ahead and get into it. No other formalities. Was there any other announcements? No. Enough of the announcements. Let's just go ahead and crack this off. All right, what are we going to get into tonight? Jeez, we got... Let's go ahead and see what we're going to get into tonight, gente. I appreciate everyone that's already tuning in right now. Let's get it going. Let's go. All right. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is it came across my feed that it looks like there's someone in CECOT. We already know what CECOT is. I've been talking about CECOT now for a couple weeks, right? CECOT is basically is hell on earth, man. Pelican Bay shoe ain't got nothing, absolutely nothing on CECOT. Matter of fact, if they were to transfer, let me go back to this. If they were to transfer from CECOT to the Pelican Bay shoe, let me let you know, they think it was a level 2 with open lines and unlocks every day. Serio. CECOT's a whole different animal. So let's go ahead and bring up this from CECOT because this came across my feed today. And again, I want to go ahead and, I go straight down the middle. I don't know if people think I'm this way, I'm that way. We all got our certain beliefs, right? They just are what they are. But I like to be objective. I'm not going to preach objectivity and myself be behind this pinchy microphone and not be objective, okay? So it's a trip, you'll have, and we're talking about politics maybe a little bit here because there's Uncle Trump's up on the screen. You'll have the blue just throwing at the red all the time. They're kidnapping people. Vale madre. Everything is blowing up. It's the end of the world. Chaos. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I just got to keep it a buck with the people, whether you like it or not. I mean, we had to vote, right? That's the only way to make our voices count. And then we had to vote for the better of the two. So you're not going to tell me that Harris, with their IQ of a doorknob, it was going to be better than Trump. But you might have your own personal preferences, right? Someone commented, I forgot the vato's name. And it's cool. I don't block people, gente. I got thick skin. I don't block nobody, man. The vato commented and he said, your daddy Trump. Well, first of all, no one's my daddy, okay? I've had one father, okay, in this world, and I lost him at one of the darkest moments in my life. So no one's my motherfucking daddy. I'll tell you that right now. And second of all, of course, he was the obvious choice. But what I want to bring this back. Let's bring this back. Let's reel it back in, cabrones. Let's read this article, and it says, ICE admits. So again, if you hate the 47th president of the United States, you're going to love these articles, right? You're going to love them, all right? Well, let's read them. See, if it was someone else, then they wouldn't be reading this, right? Someone else wouldn't be reading this. But again, it didn't matter when the raza was bleeding, and it didn't matter that the raza was just getting worser and bleeding out to a lot of people because they got personal agendas. Okay. They got puppeteers that pull their strings, not me. So let's read the article. It says, ICE admits to administrative error. Chingasu. that led a man with protected legal status, okay, I'm just going to read it the way it is, to be sent to notorious prison in El Salvador, okay? The government has acknowledged the error, but said he's no longer in U.S. custody and they can't order or put in an order to bring him back, okay? Then you got police ice right there. Okay, you got the vest that triggers people, okay? Then you got the Salvadoran flag. Shout out to Bukele for cleaning up the calles. And then you got Uncle Trump right there, but he's looking evil. He's looking in black and white like he's The Thing, or what's the name of that movie? It, or that crazy lighting que se aparece, like a chamuco. And then right below 47, you see a lot of people in CECOT. So this is a story. The story is, and it's trending, that's why we're talking about it right now on Chicano Street, that a man, not an innocent man, but they said a man with protected legal status. Okay. Now, the first thing that crossed my mind is, okay, you can say people with visas, okay, have some kind of protected legal status. But what happens if they enter the country and F that off? What happens if they F that off, right? Anyone that's in the country that has a visa, the visa is not a permanent residency. Why? Well, if the visa, being in this country with a visa was a permanent residency, then why would you have to renew it? I'll hold. Why would you have to renew it every 5 or 10 years? So some people get it twisted and think a visa is permanent residency because they've been here 30 or 40 years. My advice is, if you want to stay here, take the test. My mom became a U.S. citizen, didn't know a lick of English. I mean, Wisconsin Paz, my beautiful mother. She didn't know anything of English, man. She always puts a smile on my face the way she used to papacharme. She didn't know a lick of English, and she became a U.S. citizen, right? Governor, who is the governor? I remember writing down all the answers, right, to it, and I was just, the 10 questions, there was 10 answers. I told her, Mom, learn these, right? Governor Gray Davis, I think Governor Gray Davis was the governor. So I think it was in the 90s. I can't remember. But anyways, this story is making it seem, and there's a lot of other trending news, that's making it seem with this individual that he's an innocent man, or that the Homeland Security did something illegal. Someone that has a protected legal status. Now, another thing that could be, gente, is that also it could be asylum. It could be asylum, right? So, again, you fled your country. Okay, I get it. Say some kind of asylum situation, right? Like in the movie Mi Familia. Who remembers the movie Mi Familia, right? 1995, Edward James Olmos, Richie from La Bamba was in it. Great actors. I mean, through and through, a Chicano classic movie called Mi Familia, right? Well, the girl was from, I think, El Salvador, right? El Salvador. And they unalived her family. I don't know for what reason, but it was a crazy situation like that. They unalived her family. That's right. I appreciate everyone in the chat. Artie Marin's in the casa. I appreciate you. Tina Martinez. I appreciate you, amiga. And Georgie's in the casa. Everlasting Base. Nate Gonzalez. Good evening to all the raza out there. It's April Fools. If you guys want to bromear and shoot the shit, go ahead. When's the next town hall meeting? It's on 4/16, and I already got 7 seats booked. 5 of them are new guests. 2 of them are returning guests. One of the returning guests is I'm not gonna even spoil it right now. Wait till you see the flyer, right? Anyways, so 4/16 is the next town hall. I don't want to lose my train of thought, cabrones. But go ahead and go off. You seen that I had fun with April Fools in there. I put a post in there. My DNA came back. And me and the wifey just checked ours today. It says DNA is getting extracted. It should be done by the 12th, but then the 16th at town hall. So I'm going to bring science teacher from Salas, from hometown right here. I'm going to bring science teacher, and then he's going to help me break it down even more. the DNA, because he even sent me a little video, and he's in front of his pizarron with the blue scientist, pinchy, I don't know what you call it, right? The overcoat. And he even told me, "Oh, is this what you're talking about?" And he had the DNA strand on the chalkboard. So be on the lookout for that live. But that's going to be after the town hall. First, we're going to crack it off at the town hall. We got a lot to talk about. Look at all this, man. It's crazy, right? What's going on in the media is an inundation of media. So sometimes it's good just to disconnect. Okay. Don't ever think that what you see on the internet is the end of the world. It's not the end of the world, man. Get back to reality. It's the second quarter of the year. Smash and hit those goals. Matter of fact, I was just talking to Cholo Trucker today. Shout out to mi hermano Cholo Trucker. I said, "You're motivating me, carnal. I seen you already do some workout videos." I got to get back on it. I really do got to get back on it. So anyways, so this is going out right now. They're making 47. Looks like the chamuco. He looks like the chamuco. But is this the absolute truth? Is this what happened? Well, what we'll do is let's go ahead and read. Let's hear from the White House herself.
Just changing subjects for 1 second. The administration has expressed a complete confidence in how all the deportation flights to El Salvador were conducted. But now that the administration has conceded that there was an error of one Salvadoran national, will there be any reviews conducted? And does the president express any thoughts on the one error that was disclosed in court last night?
Well, first of all, the error that you are referring to was a clerical error. It was an administrative error. The administration maintains the position that this individual who was deported to El Salvador and will not be returning to our country was a member of the brutal and vicious MS-13 gang. That is fact number one. Fact number two, we also have credible intelligence proving that this individual was involved in human trafficking. And fact number three, this individual was a member, actually a leader of the brutal MS-13 gang, which this president has designated as a foreign terrorist organization. Fact number four is that foreign terrorists do not have legal protections in the United States of America anymore. And it is within the president's executive authority and power to deport these heinous individuals from American communities. It is a promise he campaigned on. It is a promise he is keeping. And every single person in this room should be grateful for that, considering especially MS-13 is very prevalent and prominent here in the District of Columbia, in Maryland, and in Virginia. And the president, the attorney general, everyone who has been involved in these operations is focused on eradicating these criminals and terrorists from our communities.
The vice president said he was a convicted member of MS-13. What evidence is there to back that up?
There's a lot of evidence, and the Department of Homeland Security and ICE have that evidence, and I saw it this morning.
Thanks, Carolyn. A few questions about this deportation.
Damn it. Okay, so she's saying that they're saying, the administration is saying, the dude that's in CECOT, and just imagine, gente, imagine accidentally, I'm not saying this is what happened. The White House made a statement saying this is not the case. This is what the White House is saying. But I can't even imagine they snatch up the wrong dude, right? Some pinchy dude just, walking down the street, going home. Everything is good. Next thing you know, boom, a van pulls up. And I know a lot of people are saying they're not doing it the right way. They're doing it any way they can. I mean, I look like the times I got snatched up by parole agents. Did I ever get mad? Hey, you're supposed to come in a marked car. Hey, this is entrapment. Well, of course, my generation, we didn't give a shit. You know what I mean? But a lot of people are saying that however they're doing it, man. So again, the claims for kidnapping are a little bit reaching, but I get it. I get what you're coming from when you say the kidnapping. It's called kidnapping. But anyways, imagine the wrong dude getting snatched up, and all of a sudden, he's on an airplane. And he's headed to El Salvador. And then he gets inside CECOT, and they don't play. You sneeze the wrong way, you will get the ass whooping of your life. Again, this is all under the administration of Bukele. So if there's any humanitarians that say, hey, human rights, and don't do that to them, and I get it. There are cases of innocent people incarcerated. Yes, there is. I do believe there is innocent people incarcerated. what's the ratio or what's the percentage of innocent people as opposed to the people that committed crimes that are incarcerated? It's like, it's as rare as a blood moon. It's as rare as a blood moon happening in the sky, a blood moon eclipse, blue moon. That's how rare it is. But it can happen. It can happen. So the White House go ahead and made a statement, and they say they have proof and evidence that the dude was involved in trafficking. Do I know it to be true? No, I don't know it to be true. I'm not in the White House. I'm not behind those pinchy departments, and I'm not involved in none of that stuff. I'm just commenting on it like, damn, that would be messed up if they snatched the dude up and all of a sudden he's in level 10 CECOT in El Salvador. So the White House is denying it. There's a lot of stories circulating right now saying that it's the wrong dude that got snatched up. But I don't know. Joe Rogan, I'm going to go ahead and play something from Joe Rogan. Actually, it's from TMZ. And he expressed a similar sentiment. Let's go.
Coming through.
Yeah.
And there's probably still people coming through that are criminals.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is, like, you got to get scared that people who are not criminals are getting, like, lassoed up and deported and sent to, like, El Salvador prisons, like that kind of shit. Because I read some story. Was it Glenn Greenwald?
It was.
Yeah. The gay barber guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's scary, man.
Is that true? Is that story accurate?
I don't think we know.
Can you explain the story for people that don't know?
Well, from what I read, I think it was in Time magazine, Jamie, if you can pull it up, maybe we can get it accurate. But basically, with a bunch of these Trender Agua guys, allegedly they got at least one guy who wasn't a criminal, who was just a gay barber who I think, according to the story, came here legally. He was here legally. That's what they said. Don't know if it's
did
true.
he have a green card?
I don't know what the details are. Maybe Jamie can find it.
No criminal record.
From what it said in that story. Now, this is the problem, right? Because the mainstream media has been putting out so much shit that I don't know what to believe anymore, right?
I feel the same way.
And so it's difficult, but it's something that we actually brought up in one of our conversations. We interviewed the guy from the Heritage Foundation. We brought this up because I think we talked about this with Doge as well. When you do things quickly and you do things aggressively, that's how you get shit done. But that's also when mistakes get made.
Right.
And I think a human being plucked out of nowhere and ending up in a country he's never been in a maximum security prison with gang members, seems like a bad thing to happen to me.
It's horrific. It's horrific.
I don't think that should be controversial.
No, that's not controversial at all. And this is the thing, measured twice, cut once.
Mm.
Yeah.
This is kind of crazy. That could be possible. That's horrific. And that's bad for the cause. Like, the cause is, let's get the gang members out. Everybody agrees. But let's not innocent gay hairdressers get lumped up with the gangs. So there's still people coming through.
Yeah.
And there's probably still people coming through that are criminals.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, what Joe was talking about was, this is a whole different case. I don't think that's this dude, because this dude, he's married, has a wife, but it could be. I'm not sure. I don't think they're talking about the same person. He's talking about a gay hairdresser that someone got snatched up. I don't have any further videos to go ahead and corroborate that. But again, that's messed up. I mean, imagine, again, those, I'm not saying, I think I said this on my last video, gente, that, ain't nothing going down over there. They're not shooting huilas. They're not busting máquina and all that. That's that California bullshit, right? It's getting so bad now in California, gente. I can't even believe it. They're doing concerts now, and people are actually doing burpees on the stage. Doing burpees on the stage during a concert is like, damn, we're taking about 10 steps backward, gente. We're going backward. And again, Chicano rap, hey, it's gonna stay in a box forever, man. Put them doing máquina on the stage. Might as well just when you're doing your concert, fuck it, just have a table right there and they're making spreads. You know what I mean? Busting sopas down. Give them a razor blade too. Don't give them a knife. I mean, just give them a little razor blade, bust it open, and make sure they're doing it right. And then they're busting burpees over here on the stage. But anyways, Chicano rap, that's a whole nother topic. It is messed up. Not it could be. If there's innocent people that are getting snatched up and going to CECOT. Is there a proven case? No. Now, check this out. No, there's not a proven case as of right now. But guess what happens, though? I guarantee you this. If there is a case that they can prove that someone got snatched up innocently by ICE, there's a lawsuit coming. Absolutely, there's a lawsuit coming. It's not going to slight the numbers as far as, okay, they're 99.9% right. There's that 0.1% that just got snatched up in the net and is wrong. But paying that 1% is going to cost you a lot of money. Now, what I recommend for that family to do, if you think your loved one has been taken unjustly over to CECOT, is get a lawyer. Get a lawyer and sue those nalgas. Sue that ass and get a lawyer. But you got to be in the right. And then you'll get compensated, and hopefully they'll be able to work all that out. But we don't have a proven case yet. Everything is just the internet. We did it. We did it, right? Shout out to Vic Chavez. I appreciate you, my boy. That's right, George. It says Gunner and Dubs equals Trino and Adam. What's that? Trino's the guy from the Jenny Rivera show, right? No one likes that guy because remember what that dude did? Man. You know what that dude, Trino, did? You already know what he did, right? He was Jenny Rivera's husband. I can't believe it, gente. He ended up essaying his stepsister, and he ended up essaying his stepdaughter. That motherfucker right there, I'm telling you, he's on Megan's Law. He's a weirdo. Be careful with cabronas like that. But I don't think that's who you're talking about. Bettina Martinez, I appreciate you, amiga. She says, yes, that's right. All right, let's keep it moving, gente. Let's keep it moving. All right. Okay, let me see. Where are we at? Okay, here we go. Well, let's talk about this that came across my feed. A comedian. I've never met him personally. I actually think Big Paul. Either it's Big Paul from LA Times or Big Joe Castro, man. Shout out to Paul, LA Times. Shout out to Joe Castro, Sonny, all of the SoCal fellas. Shout out to all of them, man. Nothing but love and respect going over there. I think one of them knows this guy because this comedian, Paul Rodriguez, he did a promo for the Cholo Trucker and the Gunner fight. So someone knows him. Well, it came across my feed. And again, this is the thing, gente. I'm going to always be objective down the middle. There's conflicting media. I'll show you this story right now, and then I'll show you another story, and we can go on and on and on how they're saying he set him up. They set him up. It's like, that's why I keep telling people, when you come on social media, hey, do what you do. Let no one tell you what to do on your social media, right? But take everything you see with a grain of salt, gente. Don't ever take anything you see on social media as palabra. Because then when it doesn't end up being palabra, you look like a pendejo later on, cleaning it up, saying, oh, I'm sorry, guys. Well, I got ahead, and I'm going to learn to just kind of let shit play out instead of jumping ahead and trying to break news. So I don't know it to be true or not, but I want to hear this story. Let's go.
Comedian Paul Rodriguez,
ABC7.
after his arrest in Burbank last night. Police say they were conducting a traffic stop around 7:30 when they found drugs during their investigation. Rodriguez was a passenger in the car. His lawyer, Bobby Cimini, says Rodriguez fully cooperated at all times, did not have any controlled substances in his possession, and was not under the influence. He says the arrest and the treatment by officers violated Rodriguez's civil rights and that he looks forward to proving his innocence. We are hearing from the lawyer representing actor and comedian Paul Rodriguez after his arrest in Burbank last night.
All right, so he was arrested in Burbank. Who's from Burbank? Someone's from Burbank. Who's from Burbank? Oh, I think it's Boo Boo from American Cholo. Yeah, he's from Burbank. So shout out to Burbank. Shout out to the fellas. And then also give a shout out to the pages that provide us with this great content. This one is hot. Willa Media. I appreciate you, cabron, for providing us. So, Paul Rodriguez, they said he was in a car, wasn't driving, but there was yayo in the car, or I don't know if it was R, yayo, whatever it was. I'm not sure exactly what it is. They just said drug possession. Okay, so that's just a very, very broad term. But he is claiming that it was a setup from the police department. Now, the police department, of course, gente, we know this to be true. No one is perfect. I absolutely know a couple people that have gotten stuff planted on them. I don't put that on the whole PD, but it's true. But those are just the bad apples, right? Sometimes that can happen. Nowadays, you got body cam footage. Unless you turn it off, then they won't see you planting something. So again, I don't know it to be true, but Paul Rodriguez, legendary comedian, funny as hell. I mean, funny as hell, right? And look, he doesn't look too old. You know what I mean? He barely got some gray hair on his head. I don't think he's doing what Dubs is doing and doing Just for Men every single live. I think he's letting his hair grow out and no está tan viejo. Some people don't get canosos. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be canoso. Hopefully, knock on wood. So it came across my feed and I'm like, wow, chingado. Chicano comedian gets arrested for drug possession. I hope it's nothing bad. I hope it's not something he's going to spiral and keep doing drogas. It says he wasn't even under the influence. And it said it was just in the car. So that's going to be an easy case for the lawyer. I'm in the car. I'm driving. It's not my car. I'm not driving it. It's not registered to me. Unless you got prints or something on the clavo, then you got to let me go. That's just it. Let's keep it pushing, gente. That's right. Death Rose in the casa says, pass the wire. That's right. My boy, Georgie says, crackhead. God, stop already, man. He says that he's a crackhead. I don't know that to be true, cabrones. Unless you get busted, you know what I mean? Down there wherever it is that they sell dope at. Here in Salinas, it's like Chinatown. If you ever get busted and down in Chinatown, it's all bad. You're probably a crackhead or you're probably a carga head. But anyway, let's keep it pushing. Right there. All right. What's next? Well, I don't know. Oh, man. Hit that like, por favor. Gente, do me a favor. Hit that like, man. This internet is a trip, man. It's a trip. The things you see on the internet. Oh, man. So let's go ahead and get to this story right here. I appreciate you guys for tuning into the Tuesday night show. We changed the Wednesday night show to Tuesday. That way there's a little bit more balance in between in the week and gives us the same amount of days before we come back. That way you don't get just two back-to-backs and then a long gap in between. So anyways, the Tuesday night show, I appreciate you guys. If you're listening on IG, shout out to you guys. Hit that hard on IG. If you're listening on Facebook, then give me the thumbs up on Facebook. And YouTube has a thumbs up or it has a chinga tu madre button. You can hit either. It's all good, man. I got thick skin. I ain't tripping on the internet. But we got Kanye West, very controversial figure. Again, he's a very powerful individual. Okay. Money equals power. Let's get that straight. He's a very powerful individual, and he says some of the most controversial things. I actually believe I saw an interview one time where he said he was also on the spectrum or had Asperger's or something like that, right? Just like Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk also is autistic, and I believe he has Asperger's, but I'm not sure. But I know he's autistic, Elon Musk, and they calling him a super genius, the most intelligent man on earth, and he's autistic. It just goes to show that being special needs doesn't restrict you academically. You could have the highest IQ like Elon Musk and be special needs. So Kanye West came out in the news. This is a trip. He's talking to one of the largest podcasters in the world, at least in the United States. I'm not going to lie and say I follow the UK. I follow London YouTubers. I follow Africa, Australian, Russian YouTubers. I only follow the US. And for us, we're West Coast. We're Chicanos. That's who we are in Califas. We're in California. So, but anyways, We're knocking on the door at 14K. I appreciate you guys. Let's go ahead and get to the story. Kanye West dressed up like the Black Grand Dragon. Let's go.
Niggas, all you rap niggas, just any nigga that ever said something about my fucking hat. None of these niggas, Jay-Z, Beyonce, you ain't helped me when I fucking was having problems with my kids. You could have used your influence. No, your influence is for politics. Your influence is how you could use a nigga you never wanted to sign anyway, that Dame signed. You ain't show up to my first fucking wedding. You ain't my family. I always wanted some kind of family. Never have family out here. So what the fuck? And then they take my actual blood family from me in my face. Wanted with the king. I am the Don. Lucian, don't send none of your motherfucking slaves. Don't send nobody because they getting their head torn off. Quick. We ain't got no problem. Ain't no motherfuckers. I'm the only king. I'm the only nigga that'll go up against these niggas. I'm the only nigga that survived through this shit. You know what I'm saying? Me, pussy ass, faggot ass, pink polo ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never killed nobody ass nigga. Fuck all you niggas. All you street niggas, all you rap niggas, just any nigga that ever said something about my fucking hat. None of these niggas, Jay-Z, Beyonce, you ain't helped me when I fucking was having problems with my kids. You could have used your influence. No, your influence is for politics. Your influence is how you could use a nigga you never wanted to sign anyway, that Dame signed. You ain't show up to my first fucking wedding. You ain't my family. I always wanted some kind of family. Never have family out here.
Okay.
So what the fuck?
So he's repeating himself. So, oh man, and it's funny because then I'll bring something up like this, and then sometimes I'll get from the African American, the Black brothers will start getting in the comment section. Hey, Mikey, hey, you're commenting on Black stuff and Black business and all this other stuff, and it's like, hey, this is social media. This is the internet. Especially Kanye being one of these mogul, these very prolific individuals that people want to hear what he got to say because he's just that powerful. Now, what I don't get is what's up with the Grand Dragon Black outfit. Because pay attention, I ain't never seen a black one. When we see the movies of these cabrones, they're wearing white. They're wearing red. I've even seen red, and I guess that's basic. I don't know, cabrones, but I'm guessing that has something to do with their authority inside the 3Ks, right? I'm over here signing. 3Ks. But what's up with the black outfit? I'm trying to wrap my head around the black outfit. Maybe it's him making a statement like, I don't know. I can't even begin to guess, but it has something to do with black, right? He's wearing a black outfit, but why? Let me ask the comment section. I'm at my wit's end. Let me ask the comment section. Comment section, what is going on with the black outfit? Please answer respectfully. Keep it respectful, gente. What's going on with the black outfit? It is an obvious statement that he's making when he's talking to DJ Academics. But I don't know what the statement is. I need some brothers to come in the chat and to help a brother out, man. Don't forget to hit that like. You can also hit that share button. Let me at least read what it says up here by who posted it. Let's give credit where credit is due. Ace Boys Worldwide. Okay, 10,000 on IG, doing good. Exclusive clip from Academics and Ye interview. In the clip, Ye, aka Kanye West, tells Lucian he will behead any of his slaves that come for him. Who's Lucian? Kanye then calls himself the only king, says Jay-Z and Beyonce didn't help when he was having problems with his kids. Orale. Criticizes Hove and B, saying they aren't his family. And then here's a funny comment. It says, I don't know what war he fighting, but damn, he's all in. Yeah, he's all in. You could definitely say that again. He is all in, gente. All right. Anyways, let's see. Give me a second. All right. Go back to the comment section. I send my Snoops 13 12. I appreciate you. It says saludos, Mikey. Let me highlight that, my boy. Is that who I think it is? Is that Snoop? Oh, you know, I forgot to put it in the chat. Give me a second at there. I forgot the chat. Oh. Cabrón. Okay. Hold on, gente. I got to the chat. Here it is. That way I can see it when it's up on the screen. All right. All right. Let's see if this works. That's right. Snoops 1312 is in the casa. I appreciate you. Saludos, Mikey. It's been a minute. I send mine in full to you and yours. That's right. Snoops is in the house. I appreciate you, cabron. How you been, cabron? How you been? I've been passing by your barrio a lot, though. I went to TJ already. I went to I already went to Mexico this year at least two times. And I passed by your neck of the woods, Escondido, right? Or no, Oceanside, right? I appreciate you. Snoops 1312 is in the house. I appreciate you, cabron. Let's go ahead and read some more comments. Gina Marie says it's public. That's right. George says, oh my goodness, with the Kanye thing. That's a trip, Look at him. Oh my goodness, he says. My boy, back in the days, the 3Ks did use the black. Oh, okay. I stand corrected. See, I'm on here, not the all-knowing. I actually learned a whole lot more coming on YouTube than before, right? So I appreciate you. He says they were putting the black dress-ups on, but what's the message, bro? What's the message? The last time he came out with the shirt, gente, and I had a pinche swastika on there, man. And whack 100 on his IG. He says, what did he say? Let's see if we can find it, man. Let's see if we can find it. Oh no, hold on. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Okay. Let's go home. Let's go to Chicano Tube. Let's go to search. Let's go to whack. Let's see what's up with this cabron. Let me see. Come on. Pretty sure it was on here somewhere. Let me see. Maybe it was that far back. And it was, oh, here it is. Chingasu. All right. And then what did he say right here? It says, yay. What does it say? It says, Ye is in his own wave. Okay. He's beating to his own tune. This is so dangerous in so many ways. Oh, man. This dude is a trip, man. That's what we're talking about him. This dude is a trip, man. This is dangerous in so many ways. White supremacists, judíos, africanos could react to this in public con violencia, but he has no worries. Man has a lot of courage. Now, is there a message that the swastika is black? There's some kind of innuendo there, some kind of white fire, they say, reading between the lines there. Or is there not? I don't know. What an interesting individual, man. That's enough of Kanye, gente. Let's get back into it, man. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit that like, man. All right, let's talk about this story that came across my feed. This is in regards to an altercation that happened in middle school. Do me a favor, though, gente. Hit that like. Hit that like one time for your boy. Hit that like. Let me see. Hold on a second. I think my second. Am I down over here? Yeah. Let me see. Give me a second. My bad. My bad. Okay, we're good. So, anyways, let's get back. Okay. Middle school altercation. Middle school security guard fired. Oh, snap. After duct taping. Damn, is that a piece of duct tape on the mouth? You ain't hard news. You ain't right for that, cabrón. Don't you Photoshop duct tape on her, cabrón. Don't seas gago. The thumbnails are off the hook. You didn't have to put duct tape on her, cabrón. You ain't hard news. But let's give him a shout out, man. You ain't hard news. Let me see. Where are they at? Where's the pinchy browser? Oh, it's over there. Give me a second. Okay. So, anyways, let's highlight. Let's see who it is. It is You Ain't Hard Fool. They got 305,000 on IG. Ching. That's right, man. Keep doing your thing. So we like to give credit where credit is due. Let's see what's going on.
Security guard duct taped her mouth because she was playing with her friends, being a little too loud. She was asked to stop once, and she didn't. I guess she kept continuing to play.
He's talking about his daughter, 11-year-old Noemi Hurtado. The sixth grader at Blair Middle School was playing with friends during lunch break. She whispers to her dad what the security guard supposedly told her.
She said that she's going to sit her down and she better put the duct tape on or else she'll do it herself. Once that was done, I guess she walked her all the way, humiliated her from the middle school, walking through it, to the high school, walking through it all the way to her next classroom, and still had the nerve to state to the teacher that she shouldn't take off the tape because she has a hard time being quiet.
Another school employee stepped in.
Julio, head security guard here, saw what happened, and he addressed the matter, pulled my little girl out of class, and told her she wasn't in trouble, and let's go state exactly what happened to the principal.
School district officials confirming to Fox 11 the employee is no longer working for the district.
They told me that a security guard duct taped her mouth because she was playing with her friends, being a little too loud. She was asked to stop once, and she didn't. I guess she kept continuing to play.
He's talking about his daughter, 11-year-old Noemi Hurtado. The sixth grader at Blair Middle School was playing with friends during lunch break. She whispers to her dad what the security guard supposedly told her.
She said that she's going to sit her down and she better put the duct tape on or else she'll do it herself. Once that was done, I guess she walked her all the way, humiliated her from the middle school, walking through it, to the high school, walking through it all the way to her next classroom, and still had the nerve to state to the teacher that she shouldn't take off the tape because she has a hard time being quiet.
Another school employee stepped in.
Julio, head security guard here, saw what happened, and he addressed the matter, pulled my little girl out of class, and told her she wasn't in trouble, and let's go state exactly what happened to the principal.
School district officials confirming to Fox 11 the employee is no longer working for the district.
All right. So, anyways, I don't know where this is at. Blair, Pasadena. There it is. Parents of an 11-year-old girl outraged after a school employee forced her to duct tape her own mouth for reportedly speaking too much. The child involved, Noemi Hurtado, is a sixth grade student at Blair Middle School in Pasadena. On March 24th, just last week, Noemi was eating lunch on campus with friends when she allegedly was punished for being too loud by a female security guard. The woman took Noemi to the principal's office and told the girl to put duct tape over her mouth. The woman, the security guard, took Noemi to the principal's office and told the girl to put duct tape over her own mouth? When her father found out, he was outraged. Damn it. Shame on them. Man. Shame on them. There's a right way to do things, and there's a wrong way to do things, right? Now, the last time I went to a middle school, I seen all kinds of youngsters just totally disrespecting the administration. That it blew me away. I had to go to the main office. This is at Washington Middle School. And when I went to the main office, there was like 3 administrators there, right? One vice principal, I think, and 3 administrators behind the desk. These youngsters were getting out of line with the teachers, right? And they basically had to take it. They had to take it. I'm looking at them, the youngster telling the pinchy attendance lady, well, you don't have to do all that. I'll be back tomorrow. That don't faze me. Or, shit like that, right? And I was like, detention ain't going to help this pinchy youngster. You know what's going to help this youngster? YA. Better get him some attention. Someone needs to check the youngster because he's going to end up on the headline of the news going out with an AK-47 or banged out doing 10-20 life. But anyways, so there is that happens. But anyone that deals with the public, you need to not have a short fuse. You need to be a people person. If you're not a people person, and a lot of us have dealt with people, even in las tiendas, waitresses, waiters, they're pissed off, they're mad at where they're working, and you can feel the energy, right? Then you're the wrong person for the job. Because there's a job for everyone, and there's a type of a person for everything. And to deal with the public, you got to have, especially children, you got to have the right personality. Now, taking this girl, now I'm not saying she didn't act disobedient. I'm not saying that. I wasn't there, first off. So how do I know? I don't, right? I'm not saying she wasn't disobedient, gente, but nothing is deserving of a child to get their hands put on them. Nothing. What I smell here, I smell a lawsuit. And the guy standing behind him, the guy with the Muslim chain, I think that's a Muslim chain, right? The crescent moon with the star. Isn't that's a Muslim sign, right? I could be wrong, but I think it's a Muslim sign. If that guy wearing the brown shirt is the head of security and he's already on the video, you already got your witness. You got your star witness. I bet you he wants to get broke off too. Break old boy in the brown shirt off too, some of that pie. I'm just saying. You never know. He probably went up to the dad. I need a piece of that, right? I need a piece of that, right? Yeah, we're going to do this video, but I need a piece of that. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. But anyways, it came across my feed and a couple people shared it. And in no way, shape, or form am I for anybody putting their hands on a child. Absolutely not. Now, it's story time. I'll tell you a story. One of my children, I'm not going to say who, got into an altercation also at a middle school. The middle schools in Salinas, they're different, man. They're different. These youngsters over here are, I'm working on them. Let's just say I'm working on them. Next month, I got 10 years going to the juvenile hall in the camp. Next month, I got 10 years. When someone says, what do you do for the community? Well, that's a good question, right? When you ask these people who are for the raza and they say they're helping people and they don't do shit and they're really in it for YouTube money. Well, 10 years, next month, I'm going to have 10 years going to the juvenile facilities, right? So story time. So I had one of my kids was in middle school and it's treacherous, man. These middle schools, there was a fight on average at the middle school where one of my kids was, ended up graduating from that school too and just moved on. But it's that awkward period, right, where people don't know themselves and try to prove themselves. This is middle school, right? And my child was getting bullied. And it basically came to light, right, that other kids were bullying my child. And so we basically gave the advice that we gave. You know what? Your safety is always first. It's always first. We don't mind homeschooling. We don't mind charter schooling. We don't mind none of that. But if you want to partake of the activities, you want to be in that school, you want to be around your friends, then you're going to have to put a stop to it. That's just it. You're going to have to put a stop to it. This ain't no fluff. This ain't sugarcoating. This ain't cry on my shoulder. None of that shit. You got this option or you got that option, right? It just is what it is, right? It's a cold world, but it's even colder if you don't teach your kids how to stand up for themselves. Then they're going to develop a passive personality. Then they're going to end up getting bullied. Then their self-esteem is never going to fully develop, right? So one of my kids, right? So a fight happens. I get a call. Boom. I'm at my office, not too far, just a couple blocks, on South Main, right? My office is right off of South Main on the south side. One of my offices, I have 2 offices in Salinas, but one of my offices is on the south side, right? So I was there. I was not too far. I'm just like 2 blocks down the street from Salinas High, maybe 3, right? Straight shot. I mean, Washington Middle School. It's in the back of Salinas High. So I go over there. Boom. The video surveillance shows my child at a table getting approached by one person, and that person had like 3, 4 kids, right? With the person, right? And so the video surveillance showed my child getting jammed up. Okay, let me put this back up. And so next thing you know, my kid gets up and just says something and just takes off on the other one. Bing, 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 boom, 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 boom. It's just a one-on-one, right? She didn't get packed out or nothing. He didn't get packed out or nothing, right? It's just a one-on-one. But the video showed, this is what was a trip. When I watched this inside the pinchy assistant principal's office, the video shows my child standing on top of the cafeteria benches. Washington Middle School, right between the cafeteria and the gym, they have benches, right? My child was standing on top and just punching, right? Boom, boom, boom. And I guess they're saying stop, right? But, you know, the Diaz came out. I mean, I don't know what else you want to say, right? Is kill or be killed. Usually in a fight or flight situation, you got to go all the way. It's just like a regular fight, you know what I mean, inside the ring. You don't stop. You're going to have to pry me off the person. That's when I'll hit the off switch, or when I get maced or cuffed or whatever, right? And so the video showed what I just said, and then the video showed one of the campus supervisors did a karate chop with his hands to my child's like kneecaps. Boom! And guess what happened? My child fell off of that pinchy cafeteria bench and fell down. Boom! When I saw that, I looked at the assistant principal. First of all, I looked at my child, right? My child, as soon as I walked in, my kid's like, I'm good, Dad. Don't trip on me. Okay, so I believe that, you know, my child would tell me the truth, right? You're hurt or not? But when I saw that, this crazy karate chop, boom, he did, I'm like, okay, all these little, what you're talking about, suspended for graduation or can't walk the line, all that bullshit is out the window now. Because if I want, with that tape on what you just showed me, it's a wrap. Guess what happened? Boom. Clean. It was what it was, and they let it go, man. Schools are a little bit different over here. A little bit different in Salinas. So I'm never for someone putting their hands on a child. Absolutely. You've already known me enough, gente, to know if there's anyone that I'll ever go after on YouTube Landia, is going to be someone that harms a child. Absolutely. No gloves on. That person deserves the walk of shame every single day because they harmed a child. All right. Without saying more, let's go ahead and keep it pushing, gente. That's right. I appreciate the chat. Mile High Hustle. That's right, my boy. I appreciate you. We got the heavyweight champion of the world in the house. I appreciate you, cabron. Today I was talking with Cholo Trucker, and we're talking about fights. We're talking about the series of fighting. I just told him, look, man, I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm pulling out another license. I'm trying to do some other moves that's really going to occupy my time. So, you know, I'm going to hit these goals because I just want to make sure, you know, I hit these goals, and YouTube is just, you know, it is what it is when I got time. But Mile High Hustle says, we used to play Smear the Queer when I was a kid. Yes, that's when you didn't want the football. Now, everyone caught the football and ran with it. You tackled a couple people, right? Boom. You wanted to hit someone. You wanted to do a stiff arm. But when you saw 10 cabrones running at you, you threw it. And that's not you being a chavala. It's just you passing the buck. And when you pass the buck, then you got to go and get it. But that kind of stuff right now, I mean, in California, especially, cabron, it's like, they're not going to be pushing that. You know, they're trying to do away with all this. Sensitivity is just, it's on another level, man. It really is on another level. So we used to do that. They used to toughen us up, right? But it is what it is. But I appreciate the heavyweight champ, man. That's right, my boy. All right, let's keep it pushing, man. Okay, here we go. What are we talking about next? Well, that segues into this. So this came across my feed right now. I do know even my own boss. I call her my boss because she's my boss, right? Central Committee, District 5, Karina Powers, right? Part of the RNHA, the Hispanic Assembly, right? I'm her communications director and I'm her seat alternate. When she's not in town, I'll go down and sit on the seat. And I went to a meeting, the first meeting. It was like 2 months ago. I think it was in January or February, and it was a trip, man. Politics are a trip, man. Let me just say that. So they're pushing for a complete removal in California of men in women's sports. Let's go ahead and hear what this cabron with the barba has to say.
Claim that he's making, the claim to womanhood, is not true. And compelling women to take part in this untruth is evil, perverse, and predatory. If you would use the force of law to compel young girls to use a changing room with a boy, you are yourselves predators. Transgenderism is a lie. It is, in fact, the most deranged lie that mankind has ever invented. In a free country, nobody should ever be forced to participate in a lie. As lawmakers, you have an obligation to the truth. It is a truth that I know you all recognize because every human who has ever lived on earth recognizes it, that men are men and women are women. It is that simple. And the question before you is just as simple. The question is this: will you side with the truth, a truth so basic that every toddler understands it, or will you disgrace yourselves by denying? I'm not going to talk about fairness, although it's certainly true that allowing men to compete in women's sports is deeply unfair. And I'm not going to talk about safety, although it's certainly true that allowing men into female sports teams and into their bathrooms is incredibly unsafe. I'll let others highlight those important points. I want to talk about something even more important and even more basic. It's the most basic thing of all. It's truth. You must keep men out of women's sports and out of their facilities for the simple reason that they are men. Men are not women. A man who claims he is a woman is still not a woman. So why shouldn't men play in women's sports? Because they aren't women. It isn't true. We should not allow men into women's sports for the same reason we shouldn't go around claiming that 2 + 2 = 7. It's just not true. It is.
Okay. So, gente, this came across my feed. Again, this is a California thing. California is like its own country. It's crazy. I'm so glad that, Harris, who's Attorney General in California, she was going to take the Chirujo vision across the world, gente. They had about 10 Chirujos that were the head of all these departments. One of them was also the head of the LA Fire Department, okay? And look at the mess that they made out of the Palisades situation. And then the other city, Altadena. And I forgot there was one other city that totally got, like one complete side of town and all these cities got decimated by the fire, which goes to show we should be hiring the best talent, not just because they're chirujos. But anyways, the advantage that men have in sports, contrary to women, is absolutely undeniable. Now, this is not some kind of men superiority complex. This is not some kind of machismo that, this is a man's world. No, none of that. This is just recognizing this is the way the Creator made us. It's intelligent design. It's what He did. The males have about 70% more muscle mass. Now, I'm going to play a video right now of, she was a politician, and she's saying there's no difference between men and women, and that the society should evolve past the point of making a distinction. That's an absolute farce, man. The reason men are built the way that they're built is because men have to be the protectors of the family. Men have to be the ones that are going to provide security. They have to be the ones at the forefront. They have to be the ones, catching the strays, be the first ones that hit the beach, the ones on the front line, not any other gender, which there's only two, not the females, not the ladies. They didn't let the ladies go to war until they needed the ladies' war because all the dudes are dead, which that's even a bad situation because if the women pass away, what's going to happen to the children? Okay. So again, there's a rhyme and a reason for everything. This evolution that they call progress is an absolute joke. Just like this bearded dude said, progress means 2 + 2 = 7. That's progress. But again, there's only 6 to 8 states in the whole union that believe Chirujos should be leading the country. It's a Chirujo world. And let's put men in women's sport. What about the men that have broken records in women's categories in sports? Isn't that embarrassing? Shouldn't these men be absolutely ashamed of themselves for winning a gold medal or ranking first place amongst women in a woman's sport? Isn't that embarrassing? Now, there was the incidents of it was the Olympian boxer, okay? Straight Chirujo dude. I mean, straight Chirujo dude. And this dude, there was an incident where this dude, he identified as a woman. I guess that's that's where it starts, right? I feel that Dios made a mistake. I feel that I'm a woman trapped in a man's body. Now, if that's the case for anyone, it is what it is. I'm not clowning that. Absolutely not. Oh, absolutely. I don't have, God is my witness, and my wife, I don't have a mustard seed, not even a mustard seed of hatred inside me. It's like, who am I, man? Everything that I've been through in my life, like the members only, they know what's up. Everything that I went through in my life, I'm the last to judge. And I made errors, man. I have made a lot of errors. And as a man, I apologize. Like even when I said after January 1st, I'm done with all these beasts, man. The YouTube yarda is active. Don't get it twisted. The YouTube yarda is dangerous. It's treacherous. But I'm done with all these beasts, man. If I offended you, my bad. I'm sorry. I apologize as a man. I just can't harbor shit in my heart like that. I don't have no hate. Neither do I have any kind of hate toward Chirujos. The gay community, Chirujos, whatever, right? I have no kind of hate. But there's a place. There's a place for men, and it's not inside a woman's sport. I don't care if you feel like a woman, and I'm talking to the men. Who are the men? The men that have ding-a-lings. Just look between your legs. That's what a man is, right? And the women have the opposite. That's the definition. For the people that don't want to define it, that's exactly what it is. Just look down and you'll know what you are. I take umbrage with men that want to compete against women. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be embarrassed to put your athletic abilities and try to compare. Everyone has a different role. How come you won't compete against a man? You're quick to want to compete against a female. Why don't you try to compete against a man? Is it that you can't? You can't win? You can't hang? I don't know what it is. But anyways, let's keep that pushing at the. That was a trip, man. That was a trip. All right. Here it is. All right, let's keep it pushing. Let me see what we got over here. Oh, we're talking Gunner and Dubs. No, I'm not talking about them. But it is what it is, man. Let them do their thing. I ain't even tripping on them, man. They're butt buddies. They're. I guess Chemo said that they're gonna get married tonight or something. I seen Chemo post something about they're gonna get married. I guess they're having a ceremony. I could have married him technically, but actually my ordination only works in California. So I know Dubs is in California, but I know Runner's either in Oregon or Washington. But I do know this, man. A lot of people do want to run the fade with him. I would absolutely put that fight on for monetary purposes. If Gunner were to accept, let me put this back here. If Gunner were to accept the fade with L, then those $10,000 that he owes me from defaulting on our contract, which is a legal contract, right? I would go ahead and scratch that off in a second. And of course, we would have to go through the training camp. We'd have to go through the promotion. At that point, I would be forced to establish a relationship with him, communicate at least with him, let him know the utmost professionalism. Now, I know he keeps it professional. He says when he mentions my name, well, I have nothing bad to say about him. And I don't know why he's saying that, bro. You're forgetting. You defaulted on a fight contract with me and you cost $10,000, bro. That's $10,000 less on a food on my table, money in my children's savings, money for anything. That's $10,000. So you forget why I have a chip on my shoulder, but I don't forget because I invested months into that fight that you pulled out from and $10,000. So anyways, people that didn't know the backstory, now you got the whole cheese on that backstory, right? All right, let's keep it pushing. No more El Barbón, all right? You're done, Barbón. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Oh, man, this was crazy. Crazy. Let's go.
Protesting after seeing that disturbing and violent video showing the moment a student strikes a classmate. And we're going to show you that video, but we want to warn you, what you're about to see is disturbing.
This is a special needs child.
Damn!
Awful, heartbreaking, terrible. Those are some of the ways people are talked about describing this video as showing what appears to be one of the students hitting another inside an Ashbrook classroom. The student who was hit repeatedly falls out of a chair and onto the ground. Gaston County Police say the student will face charges and they are turning the case over to the Department of Juvenile Justice, but parents say they want more done in the classroom. Details right now on the parents that are speaking out and protesting after seeing that disturbing and violent video showing the moment a student strikes a classmate. And we're going to show you that video, but we want to warn you, what you're about to see is disturbing.
Damn!
Lord, help me. Help me. When I see things like that, the first thing I think about is the parents. You know, there's a lot of absent parents. Again, next month I'll be going to the juvenile hall. 9 times out of 10 when I talk to the youngsters and I try to get to the root cause of their gang banging, they're wanting to throw their lives away, they're wanting to be, you know, Scarface, Tony Montana. I get all of that. But 9 times out of 10, there was no dad. There was no dad in the picture. I'm not saying that single moms aren't amazing, can't be amazing. I'm not saying they can't do it all as far as providing for the kids. One thing, a single mom, don't get mad, my single moms. I appreciate you. Love you guys. I talk to a lot of single moms that are working 3 jobs right now because the economy is barely stabilizing. I mean, barely. One thing they're not going to be able to do is provide that the man's point of view. Make a boy a man. A lot of these kids that act like this, act disobedient, act unruly, act the way they act is because they were raised by the female gender, and they were just, you can't really check them, man. You can't check them. I put myself in their shoes, and I've been there, man. I've been there. There was times where my pops, he went away 2 years, 3 years, his first term. The second term my pops got was about 5-6 years. I was leaving middle school, and I didn't see my dad until I was an adult. So he was away for that whole high school trip. And I just know that it takes a man to raise a man, right? So when I see this right here, the first thing that crosses my mind is what's going on at home? What's going on at home? Where is the disconnect and the failure that a child in high school would get the audacity and go up to a special needs child and beat him, jump on him, and target him. Okay. This, at the same time, they're closing down the youth authorities. They can't do nothing with these kids. These kids, they are kids. They're kids. I know my youngsters that are teenagers. You don't want me to tell you that, but by law, you're a kid. So calmate. Just kidding, youngsters. Shout out to the youngsters. They can't do nothing stricter than that, man. All they do is put them inside a daycare center, which now the juvenile halls are all daycare centers because they closed down the YAs, etc. Was it a good thing that they closed down the YAs? I mean, no one wants to spend their childhood stabbing someone or getting chased by knives or chasing someone with a knife. I understand that is very, very, very traumatic, but there has to be a place where you put people to teach them a lesson. If not, they go in there, they grab a tablet, they watch YouTube, they laugh for 90 days, 180 days, and then they go back out, and there was absolutely zero lesson learned. And guess what happens to that youngster? He's most likely going to be a part of the 80% that start off as a juvenile and turn into a habitual offender. So the first thing I say is, what's going on at home? The second thing I'm saying is you get absolutely 0 points of street credibility. 0 points. I mean, you get motherfucking negative points when you're in a classroom and you go up and you assault a special ed child. Now, I'm going to say something and you'll be like, Unc, always the older heads and Unc. And well, I am going to say this, and you can call me an older head or an Unc. But when I was in school, this right here would have gotten checked. Man, now it seems like they isolate the kids, right? Oh, is that the new kid? Let's go pick on them. That seems to be the new norm, right? Let me change up. They isolate the youngster and they go and they pick on the youngster, right? But in my days, which again, I was in middle school and in high school in the 90s, right? The early to mid 90s. In my days, you would get checked right away. If we would see one of these kids not fitting in, not being able to find a clique, a group or anything like that. And well, I mean, we just hung out gangbangers. There's about always 40, 50 of us always hanging out. But I seen my own friends do the same thing. Hey, Sam, come over here, Sam. Y ahí viene el pinche güero Sam with his big old bifocal glasses. Hey, chill with us. Don't trip. Now he has somewhere to go when he goes to lunch, right? But after a while, Sam realized these pinche Chicanos are crazy. I got to get the fuck. I got to find my own friends because they're just gangbanging, right? That was the difference also when you say if you did anything on the calles and an innocent bystander got hit, an innocent bystander got struck by una bala or anything like that, you had an issue coming. You had an issue coming. Again, times have changed, man. I could just imagine this guy probably went back to his friends and maybe they gave him brownie points. Maybe they gave him DAP or whatever. But this is an absolute fail on behalf of the parents. If there's parents, you never know. He could be an orphan. He could be a foster kid. I don't know the situation. We don't know the situation, right? And then thinking about teachers that get to see this kind of stuff. I mean, the teachers now are walking on eggshells, man, with what they do and what they say to these youngsters, man. Because we're in a generation where the parents don't want their kids to get disciplined. They don't want it. And I get it. You could be like, well, I don't want no one to raise my kid. In my day, another friend's mom could whoop that kid's ass. Another friend's mom could check that kid. And then my other friend's mom would call my mom and let her know that I'm acting crazy. I mean, shit like that. But now they might see that as wrong. I don't see it as wrong. But this kid would be a perfect candidate for the youth authority. Again, I know, Mikey, that's messed up. You know what? So I believe some of these babosos were advocating to close the California Youth Authority. And I don't think that it was their belief that it was causing trauma. I believe it was just to give some of their little homies. Yeah, these babosos that act like there's a lot of babosos. They act like they're humanitarians. I know a couple. They act like they're community activists, but I think they're really trying to change laws to benefit their homies. I'll just put that out there. If I'm the only truth teller on this motherfucking app, then let it be me. All right, let's keep it pushing. Oh, damn. This was another one, gente. Holy smoke. This came across my feed, and I appreciate everyone that's in the comment section. AZ Diablo says that you get negative 1,000 points for going up to a special needs child. Absolutely. Now we got Salad Boat 831. Mi hermano, que hubo, mi hermano. I appreciate you, my boy. Gracias, man. Mile High Hustle. That's right. Everlasting Bases laughing like pinchy SpongeBob. That's right. In my day, we got hit by any adult in charge. Absolutely. And guess what we have now because of that, Miss Gangster? Guess what we have now? We have respect. We have respect. The youngsters nowadays, the kids nowadays think we're being hard on them just to be hard on them. And then they grow up and then they realize the valuable life lessons we taught them when they have to lead their own families, when they have to work every day to provide, when they have to take care of their homes and raise their kids. It's a cycle all the time, right? We thought we knew it all. We talked back, right? Same shit. We didn't want to hear the older heads, right, that were giving us wisdom. Well, and then we went through the school of hard knocks, did what we did, and then now we're in our 40s. Well, I'm 44. Now I'm in my 40s, and now I realize, oh, shit. And another thing that they were right, I was wrong. Another thing I realized, too, also is that the cycle repeats itself. The cycles are, so that helps me talking with the youngsters like I do twice a month. That helps me. I was in the youngsters' shoes, so I know how to hit the combination lock to get inside, man. But I appreciate you, Miss Gangster. That's what we got now because of the ass whoopings is we got respect. Let's go to this story that's out of, first of all, let's shout out I am Grindface. Damn, I didn't mean to click on your page, but here you go. 2013. Oh, that's good, man. 2013 followers. Shout out to you, Grindface. Let me find it again. All right, here it is. Let's go.
Take my kids from me and act like that? Fuck you and that fucking bitch.
This was the scene last Friday. 18-year-old Raymond Frolander standing before a judge charged with battery, his face swollen and bruised. Daytona Beach police say Frolander was beaten by the father of the victim. This 35-year-old father, Jason, says he walked in on Frolander, a family friend, assault his son. Jason told police he went out for a bite to eat, and when he came back, he heard something in the bedroom. He called 911.
I just walked in and found a grown man molesting, and I got him in a bloody puddle for you right now, officer.
When Daytona Beach police showed up, they found Frolander unconscious. He was taken to the hospital, then to jail. Police say Jason won't face any charges for assault because he was protecting his child as a crime was being committed. Police also said Rand admitted to the ESSA. Normally, we would not show the face of a father whose son had been ESSA, but this father wanted to show his face and let you know he thinks his son is a hero.
Because I was going to kill him. My son stepped in front of me and saved his life.
You wanna fucking take my kids from me and act like that? Fuck you and that fucking bitch.
This was the scene last Friday. 18-year-old Raymond Frolander standing before a judge charged with battery, his face swollen and bruised. Daytona Beach police say Frolander was beaten by the father of the victim. This 35-year-old father, Jason, says he walked in on Frolander, a family friend, assault his son. Jason told police he went out for a bite to eat, and when he came back, he heard something in the bedroom. He called 911.
I just walked in and found a grown man molesting,
and I got him in a bloody puddle for you right now, officer.
When Daytona Beach police showed up, they found Frolander unconscious. He was taken to the hospital, then to jail. Police say Jason won't face any charges for assault because he was protecting his child as a crime was being committed. Police also said Rand admitted to the ESSA. Normally, we would not show the face of a father whose son had been ESSA, but this father wanted to show his face and let you know he thinks his son is a hero.
Because I was going to kill him. My son stepped in front of me and saved his life.
Damn. What do you think? Father of the year? So this is a case where exactly what he said, 35-year-old man, he went out to get a bite to eat. He came back in his room and he found that weirdo, this weirdo looking guy that's all knotted up, lip busted and black eyes and all that. That pendejo at the bottom. There you go. That pendejo right there looks like a potato that's knotted up. Found him abusing his child. Now that's crazy. It says he's not going to face any kind of charges because he was protecting his child. Isn't that what Cain did? I'll hold. Isn't that what Cain did? So anyways, then he called the police. This guy called the police, right? And he said, hey, I walked in the room. This guy was, they said ESSA. ESSA is just S-A is, SEXUAL, ASSAULT, right? I say S-A, got S-A'd. And you know what I mean. But I think they know the terminology, how to be, social media friendly words. They're just saying it ESSA, but he means S-A'd. The son was getting S-A'd. He walked in here, beat this kid. He looks like a kid, but I don't know if he's an adult. I think he's an adult, right? Black and blue. And his own son jumped on him to stop him from catching a life sentence, man. Shout out to the son. Shout out to the dad. We got a candidate for Father of the Year. Okay, now one thing I do want to say is I want to explain what he says in the beginning. I think I know who he's talking about. Let's hear this again.
My kids for me and act like that? Fuck you and that fucking bitch.
This was the scene last Friday.
Okay, I think who he's talking about is either to the district attorney or one of these court facilitators that is probably recommending CPS to get involved, maybe. I mean, people have to do their job, right? You got the prosecution and then you got the defense, right? Everyone's trying to win, right? Prosecution wants to win their case at all costs, not guilty. The defense wants to prove their case at all costs and guilty. So I'm sure in a case like this, you're going to have protective services get involved. And I think that there was a lady that was in protective services that probably made a comment and said something to the extent of, we should be looking into whether the child should stay with Mr. whatever.
For me and act like that? Fuck you and that fucking bitch.
Because he's saying you want to take my child away from me and act like that. F you and that female dog. But you know what I mean, right? All right. But anyways, Father of the Year, possibly got another Father of the Year, man. All right, let's keep it pushing it. Then we're going to wrap it up. What should we talk about? That was another good one. We talked about that already. All right, we're going to end it with this one right here. But I do want to go to the comment section real quick, man. Shout out to everyone that's in the comment section. I appreciate you guys. Let me see. Iron Fisticuffs, that's right, my boy. I appreciate you. The comments coming up over here. I want to see the comments over here. Give me a second, Ente. Appreciate you guys, man. This is the 2.0 studio. I can't wait till you see the 3.0 studio, man. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. She was busted yesterday. Who was busted yesterday, cabron? You know, it was a trip. It came across my feed. Two teachers 2 teachers got charged with SA of minor boys, right, in high school. And this is like 4 or 5 years after the fact. So the boys are already men. The teacher is like 4 or 5 years older. That means there is no statute of limitation when it comes to R or SAing somebody. So anyone, you guys probably know who I'm talking about. If someone makes a phone call and happens to press some charges, it don't matter if you did that to a minor 5 years ago. It don't matter if you did that to a minor 50 years ago. You could still be tried and prosecuted for what you did. That was crazy. But I know that's not what you were talking about, and she got busted yesterday, cabrón. That was a family friend. He said, damn it, man. Chingado, man. Es el diablo, güey. At the end of the day, the Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this evil pinche world. Okay? All of that is scripture except the word pinche. You know that, right? But anyways. All right, let's get back. All right. We're going to end it with this one. I guess talking about scripture, talking about the Bible. Again, gente, I am waiting for Pastor David Rocha to go ahead and select the date in May so we could do a Bible talk. There's a lot of things that people want to talk about. Is Jesus real? Was Jesus God? The Nephilim, curses, how to break a curse. Mikey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? All of these Bible-related topics I can't wait to get to when we start doing Bible talks once a quarter, possibly once every 2 months, depending the outcome. Now, I got, depending the feedback, I got a pastor from Salinas. He's ready to go. Pastor Tony Peña, I appreciate you, cabrón. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right, here we go. Last story of the night. You guys, do me a favor, man. Hit that like. Let's get into something a little bit more spiritual to end the night off, and something positive. Right? Declassified CIA documents revealed that the Ark of the Covenant, this is the JRE companion, pretty reputable. Joe Rogan has been known not to put something out there that is not. He's the biggest platform, I think, in the world. So he's very careful at what he puts out there. Revealed that the Ark of the Covenant that contains the 10 mandamientos was found in 1988 through a psychic experiment. The psychic described the chest accurately without prior knowledge. Damn. If that's true, that's a damn. The psychic described the chest accurately without prior knowledge, placing it in the Middle East. That's the Holy Land, the Middle East, right? I know some cabrones say the Holy Land is in Utah. Don't trip on that, okay? Let's count that out. The U.S. government has known the Ark's location for years, according to the report. Now, let me say this. It would be interesting to find the Ark of the Covenant because absolutely it would be one of the most, or if not the biggest, Christian artifact excavation of all time to be able to find the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord, right? This was given to the Levites, the Levitical priesthood. Remember when Jacob was given his inheritances to each of the 12 children that ended up turning into each of the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Levi's inheritance was not like anyone else's inheritance. Levi's inheritance was the priesthood, and he also gave them a couple cities. He gave the Levites a couple cities. That way they had somewhere to call their own so they can establish their families and their wives, their houses, and all that stuff, right? But the Levites, it was specifically given to the Levites to be the priesthood, right? Now, something is, he said, I want to bring something else up. The psychic described the chest accurately without prior knowledge, placing it in the Middle East through a psychic experiment. I believe in the Bible wholeheartedly with all my heart, and I also believe there's spiritual realms that you would have to get in an elevated state of consciousness to even see, Kind of like the book of Ezekiel is a book of prophetic visions. People will start reading the book of Ezekiel and won't understand jack, because next thing you know, chariots of fire, a wheel within a wheel, and I saw a valley of dry bones. You won't understand nothing when you start reading Ezekiel. But there is a way, I believe, through meditation that one can tap into the spiritual realm. What I believe that you will be able to see such visions. How, Mikey? It might sound wacky and weird to you, but how? It's by meditating at the time where melatonin levels are the highest in your body, which is usually about 1 to 3 a.m. If you meditate with melatonin levels are the highest at 1 to 3 a.m., you will ascend spiritual heights and possibly can even see visions and dreams like that. This is just, I've known it to be true in my own state. I've known it to be true. So that's why I don't doubt that someone can see in the spiritual. You would have to just believe it by faith that the spiritual is just more real than the physical. Now, I am going to say this. King David, it's trending right now. Go and watch the series on Netflix, gente. It's called The House of David. That series is 5 estrellas. The House of David on Amazon Prime is off the hook. They're on the very last episode. And David was a man after God's own heart, right? The prophet Samuel went to his dad, Jesse, and he looked at all the kids. The first one that walked up was Eliab. Eliab was calote. Boom. He was ripped. He was in shape. He looked like a warrior. And Samuel said, surely, this must be the anointed of the Lord. Surely it must be him. And then the Lord spoke to him. You look at what I don't look at. You look at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. Eliab is done. Aminadab is done. Forgot the names of all of them. Abner, and there's a lot of brothers, right? And then Samuel turns, because Samuel the prophet's thinking, I know I didn't hear it. I know I didn't get it wrong. I know I didn't hear wrong when the Lord said, come to Jesse, to a town in Bethlehem off the mountainside and find the next king, because I have rejected Saul, right? That's what the Bible says, right? He rejected him because when the Lord told Saul to wipe out the Amalekites, because the people wanted a feast, wanted the gold, and wanted to eat, King Saul was more people-pleasing and ended up saving the calves, saving some gold. And when Samuel walked up to Saul, he's like, what's that I hear? Is that sheep? Oh, yeah, we saved the best sheep to sacrifice to the Lord. And what's going on over there? Oh, well, we sacrificed the best calves to have a feast for the Lord. No, you got it wrong. You're supposed to follow every instruction, no matter what the Lord says. You have to follow every single instruction to stay inside his perfect will. Everything. So he rejected him. He said, go to Bethlehem. You're going to find the man, right? David. He was burning after God's heart. Well, David was dancing in front of the Ark of the Covenant. Sas, sas, right? Or whatever music. No, I'm just kidding. Not banda. But anyways, David is dancing in front of the Ark of the Covenant, right? And here goes his wife, King Saul's daughter, right? Michal, Mikael, whatever you want to say it. There's probably a Hebrew or Aramaic way to say it, but I don't know. Michal, right? Mikael. She looked at him and was jealous and mad. And how is he dancing all fancy free? But King David didn't care, because the Ark of the Covenant represented the presence of Jesus, the presence of the Lord back then. So I say that to say this. Now we don't need an Ark of the Covenant, because the Ark of the Covenant was just a prototype, a type and shadow of the presence of God. And now the presence of God lives inside every believer by faith. That's what the word says. The apostles spread it. The apostles risked their lives. All of them, nearly all of them, died for preaching that word, right? And then we know what happened with the Saul turned into Paul, and he was the baddest of the baddest, but He turned into the baddest preacher. I'll tell you that. So anyways, we don't need the Ark of the Covenant gente no more. If they find the Ark of the Covenant, great. Probably the greatest discovery in all Christendom. But we don't need it anymore. Now we have the Holy Spirit. Now we have Jesus. Now all we got to do is cry unto the Lord. Now all we got to do is get baptized in the name of Jesus for the forgiveness of sins, and you and your household will be saved, and you shall receive the Holy Ghost. But it's funny because a lot of people will just get baptized. They're baptized their body, but they won't baptize their mind. Their mind stays the same. It ain't going to work if you just dunk yourself in the water, if you don't renew your mind, right? That's the thing. So we don't need the Ark of the Covenant, in my opinion, but if they discover it, that's great. That's great that someone has it. But to me, it's a great discovery, but it is what it is, man. All right, let's go back. Let me read some of these comments before we wrap it up. I appreciate it. Tina Martinez says, you can't trust no one. Absolutely, amiga. Not even, I mean, back in my day, and maybe, I don't know if you're from my generation, Tina, we would spend the night at each other's houses, but, there was less weirdos, less creeps on the street, right? Now, no one is letting their kids spend the night anywhere because what you hear all the time on the news is negativity and negativity. I don't even want any of my kids getting a ride from nobody. Nobody. Now, I raise my kids right. And of course, all my kids know self-defense, right? I've taught them all boxing. I took them to the gym, probably 7 out of those 10 years that I was fighting. And they would spar and they would learn self-defense. And I actually taught a self-defense class too for about 3 months on Saturdays. And that was anyone that wanted to sign up free. It was a volunteer thing. I did it out of my heart. God just spoke to me, and I talked to the head coach. I'm like, let me just run this class on Saturdays. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Coach Danny, shout out to him, man, down there at Rock Boxing Gym. But I wouldn't let my kids, I don't trust them, man. You can't even trust family, like you said. But what it is, amiga, is they'll also open themselves up to these things. They'll open themselves up to demons. They'll open themselves up to sin. They'll open themselves up to evil, reprobate thoughts where people will do things that'll absolutely shock you. But it doesn't shock the enemy. It doesn't shock the devil that he can control them and have them do what he wants because they're completely open. Look at the lives they're leading. They're just inviting negativity and evil into their lives because they don't have the Savior. If the Savior is not in your heart, you got a void. And that void could be filled up by evil, I believe. No, exactly, because he wasn't at his home. Orale, that's right, man. That's right. Why did they let a registered SO live at a child care house? Okay, got it. So we're talking about the Cain Velasquez, Vic Chavez. That is a question I got a lot when I did a live about that, cabron. Basically, the daycare where Cain put his kids was a very reputable 5-star daycare. The compound looked like, if I had to put a guess, it looked like a $3 to $4 million compound because it was in Santa Clara, so values are up in Santa Clara también. You got beater house fixer-uppers that are $1 million houses in Santa Clara just because of the location. And so she had great reviews, the daycare provider, but the son was a piece of mierda. The son wasn't supposed to be living there. The mom knew that the son wasn't supposed to be there. And she still let him stay there the escondidas way. And I don't think Cain's son is the only one that he did that to. I think there's other victims. But do you hear anything about the perpetrator at all? Not one thing. Cain has a date to turn. I don't know. Is he in custody? I don't know if he's in custody or if he has a date to turn himself in. Best thing to do would be turning himself in right now. Get it over with. The sooner you get in there, the sooner you'll go back. And you know what's a goddamn shame? You know what's a goddamn shame? Man, I hate to use the Lord's name in vain. You know what's a damn shame? Is that some of these YouTubers will get Cain Velasquez's very sensitive case of his son getting abused 100 times. And you know what these YouTubers say? Will he ride with the Norte? Will he PC up? I think it's come to a point where we don't want to be educated. We just want to be entertained. That's what we want to do. If you're listening to channels that say that kind of stuff, I recommend you unsubscribe. It could be your cup of tea. I understand the 13, 14, 50-year-olds. They don't know no better. These guys tell, and then they come on the internet and act like tough guys. These guys do something to children, and son descarados. They have no shame, and then they'll come on the internet and still want to be that all-wise, all-knowing guru that wants to give you advice. They have no shame. I come from a generation where I have shame. And because I have shame, I have conduct, and I have etiquette and behavior. What a shame that a situation like Kane's will get exploited for views and likes. Will he PC up? What's going to happen next? I really hope that doesn't happen to you, man. And I really hope someone doesn't make a thumbnail about you and that happens to you. But anyways, Boy Aguilar says the House of David was banging. That's right, my boy. The last episode, he finally comes down to the Valley of Elah, and he's going to fight Goliath. But then they're going to end the first season like that, right? Another episode that's real quick. I'm going to end it now. It's 8:30, you guys. Another thing I recommend you guys watch, House of David. That's off the hook, banging. Get a little bit of Jesus, cabrones. We got the resurrection coming up in a couple weeks, Resurrection Day. So again, that's the faith right there. If he didn't rise, there is no faith, gente. Get a little bit of Jesus inside of you, gente, if you want. I respect all faiths, though, at the end of the day. On Call is another great series, but that's on Netflix. On Call is about a female sergeant who it's crazy, man. She's in Long Beach, nothing but she's training rookies that make mistakes. Crazy stuff happens. Nothing but gangbangers everywhere. It's a crazy, crazy series. Me and my daughter are watching that. Well, we already watched all of it right now. I think we're starting it again. But anyways, I only believe in the true master artist of the universe. That's right, my boy. That's right, man. You need Jesus. Oh, how I love the name Jesus. We need a new mindset to evolve. Expand your mind, Craig. Mix Angsta Piggy is laughing. That's right, amiga. I appreciate you guys. You guys, gente, we did another show in the books. The Tuesday night show is done. Live on Chicano Tube. Live on Chicano Street. Beautiful, linda raza. Do me a favor. Hit that like. Don't forget to hit that like. We'll be back on Friday night. I got a special guest. Hold on. I don't want to go anywhere. Friday night, I got a special guest. It's going to be a real Chicano hour on Friday night. Guess who's joining me to react to just like what we've been reacting to tonight? The news, trending topics, controversial things. Mi hermano, who I talked to today, that I love like mi hermano, my blood brother right there, Cholo Trucker. Cholo Trucker is going to join me on Friday night to discuss it all. You guys tap in. It's going to be about 6:30 on Friday night. It's going to be a hell of a show live with Cholo Trucker. I think I'm going to call it the Chicano Hour. That's what I'm going to do, you guys. All right, I'm going to tap back in with the familia. I appreciate you guys. Live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. Beautiful, linda raza. Do me a favor. Hit that like. That's all I ask is hit that like. Please, por favor, hit that like. If you haven't already subscribed over, you can go ahead and subscribe. I promise we got nothing but fire, peachy content. It's the Chicano channel. The one and the only. Live on Chicano Tube. I'm out, you guys. But remember what I always say? In the end, all you got is the memories. I'll see you on Friday night, and I'm out.